Can you freeze your iPhone location tracking? The short answer is yes. Let me show you how to stop someone from tracking you. Now, the first place that we're going to check is in the settings of your iPhone. We can check to see who you're sharing your location with and choose to freeze that if we wanted to. Essentially, you want to see who I'm currently or who you are currently sharing your location with. You can always go to their name, and at the very bottom, you can choose to stop sharing your location. However, keep in mind they will know when you press the stop sharing my location because it'll just say that you have no longer shared that location. However, there are some secret ways that you can freeze this. The first way is that we can go all the way back out here, and let's go to your location services here. And within the location services, you can see the option to share my location. Now you have two different options on here. You can choose to turn off share my location, and this will temporarily disable it. However, keep in mind, this isn't a great option because essentially by doing this and turning this off, it will never update and they'll suspect that something is going wrong. Essentially, it will just say your old location and say it can't connect to your phone. So another option is to just turn on the airplane mode. Essentially, this acts as if you've turned your phone off or you're on an airplane, and it just, again, cannot reach your phone to update that location. But both of these instances are not great options because essentially what this does is it just stalls or temporarily pauses your location, but they could get an idea that you have essentially done that manually and are not updating that location. Your best option in terms of trying to freeze that tracking of the location is to go to the Find My app itself. The goal should be not to freeze your location, but spoof your location using a different device. So open up the Find My app and you'll be able to see at the bottom right is me. Now you can see it tracks my location and it says share my location. You want to leave this on, but the key is where you're sharing your location from. In this case, I'm sharing it from this iPhone. If you have another iPad or another Mac or another iPhone, essentially what you're going to do is turn off sharing your location on this device, but you're going to turn it on the other device. Essentially, share your location from your iPad or your Mac computer or any other device. And then when you're back at and you're good to go, you want to share your location again, you can turn this on. If you disable location tracking, they won't be notified that you've disabled it, but you'll no longer show up in the Find My app. I would also recommend checking to make sure you're not sharing your location accidentally in other ways. So you can always just go to your location services and make sure Google Maps is not set to always. If it's set to always and precise location, that will constantly track your location. You might also want to, in addition to this, go back out here and make sure that Apple itself is not tracking your location through significant locations and routes. Let me do that Face ID real quick. And essentially, if this is turned on, it will track your location of places that you regularly go to. This is helpful in case you lose your device, but sometimes it's not necessarily worth it because you can always just erase that device if you lose it. I would recommend going through the process of clearing that entire history out of here so that your phone, in addition to other people, are not tracking you.